All right. Happy Sunday. It is a lovely sunny day here, which it's been frost the last couple of days. So that's always nice to have sunshine. Um, we had a few things that we had to sort out this morning. So I apologize for it being a little bit late, but hi and welcome. I will say hi to people as they stream into the chat. I have some cool stuff to show you guys today. I have not yet put the auctions up for the Noki artist proof. That's this guy. He is all done. I just need to list them. We came into the Memorial Day weekend for the American side, at least. And although it's not a long weekend here in Canada, it is a long weekend for most of you Americans. And I didn't want to mess up people that wanted to bid on them. So I didn't list them yet. I'm probably going to list them tomorrow, just so that if you're having time off, you can see it. And then I won't have the bids end obviously tomorrow. I'll give you guys a couple of days and it'll probably be midweek to later week that they'll end. But they're all done, glossed, sealed, kind of erring on the side of satin, like a Shoshini type coat, which I quite enjoy. I can matte them down. We'll matte him down more if you would like. And then the Aussie too. Aussie man. And the lights in here are atrocious, so I will put up those proper photos shortly for you guys. And we'll go from there. I guess I have not shown you Hairmageddon technically in person yet, so I'll do that in a minute. But I want to say hi to people coming in. So, hi Marty, how's it going? Brenda, good morning, fellow Canadian. Amy, good morning. Kimberly, hi, how's it going? Momo, hello. We don't have very many people that come in from YouTube, so that's kind of cool to see Kimberly come from there. So these streams, just so everybody's aware, streams now are being removed from Facebook after about a month. So if you want to look up anything historical, YouTube keeps them all. So if you're like, oh my God, I missed last week's and it's been a couple weeks and however that works, or you want to go back and see something, you can always do that through YouTube. But Facebook is starting to remove them now. I get notifications. So bah, boo. Marty says he's beautiful. Hi, Annie. I hope Dennis is doing well. And I will show your boy off in a second. It's perfect timing. I'm going to show you guys what happened. I spilled coffee, pardon me. As I get excited, I flail my hands and the coffee goes everywhere. I'm going to show you a peek of the new thing that I'm working on that I peeked in a video on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram a little bit ago. I think it was 2 days ago now, because I had to show you guys the behind the scenes process as I film stuff for the tutorials for the clubs. I'll show you what came in the sticker club packages for April, so you can kind of get an idea of what to expect. I'm going to show you the holographic effect and how it looks like in the sticker in person for May, because those arrived. I will update you on the color poll for Finn. That's this little guy, the Pebbles version of the Peter Stone cob horse that I did for them. There's apparently a few people that are like, I didn't know you did it, but the hair should have given it away. Yeah, a little bit. Might be my hair. So they put this hair on everything now, which is kind of cool. It's neat to see that pop up every once in a while. I don't do a lot of following of Stone stuff. Stone isn't really where I collect. So, but it's cool that I have a mold with them that people love. There's a fan page on Facebook if you're interested. There's a fair few people in it. And then there's a Fireheart one as well for those that want something like that. But you can see those ones pop up in those groups, which is kind of cool. All the customizations and things. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have the Ruffles artist proof ready to go yet, but hopefully soon. I'm going to try and get some other stuff. The club end of the month tends to get a little bit chaotic, so it might not be quite as prosperous in the studio for other things that I can show you, because there's a lot of stuff that I can't show you just yet, but I will peek some things. So yeah, and then I have some cool, fun, random stuff for later when we're all done with all the updates. Katie, hi Deanne, hi Katie, how's it going? So yeah, I'll show you Hairmageddon. So this guy's had me stumped for a while. And I added a lot of contrast in the hair and the neck, and that took away from the balance of the piece. So the body was very body in your face, and the hair kind of distracted you, and there wasn't a lot of flow. Um, and you guys know I work off of feel, and if the feel is wrong, it just messes me right up. And commissions are very hard for me in general. So we have some very patient people like our lovely Annie in the chat. This is her boy, and he has tons and tons of hair, and he will be hand delivered because there's no way that's going to ship. But it is very, very cool. It's hard because there's always the drive to do really crazy stuff when you're an artist. And it's hard because I want to do crazy things, but sometimes they're not practically crazy. There's a local artist that I did a piece for that has a lattice braid, kind of like this, flying away from the head and the neck because he's doing a pirouette. It's on, oh, I can't remember the name of the Abreu sculpture. It starts with a V, I think, and it's not Vincenzo, or maybe it's not a V. I don't know. He's doing a canter pirouette, and so the hair is flying, and it's a lattice braid, so you can see through the holes. Something kind of like this in the fact that there's all these little tendrils. And I want to do cool things like that, but it's hard to produce in resin, and it's hard to do in things that can ship and travel really well. So they kind of have to pick their right person and pick their right time. But Hairmageddon is wonderful. There's all sorts of little peaky bits underneath the hair. I'm going to change the coloring on the face, but I haven't gotten there just yet. So he's based off of a bioluminescent jellyfish. He almost has in it, somebody brought this up, like a avatar-y feel, which is very cool. So some of the spots are brighter than others. They're going to have kind of a painted glow effect. You can start to see that developing back here, and how there's more subtle ones on the front. Those will get kind of blended in and some pulled out. And then I'm going to go in and add glow paint to some of them. So that means in the daytime, you'll be able to see a glow from the paint effect, but then that also means that in the dark, you will actually see a glow, which is kind of fun. I gotta do all the crazy stuff. So he is very neat. And then the base color is purples and blues, kind of jewel tones. And I'm gonna play with something on the legs. I haven't quite figured out what's gonna happen on the legs yet. And then that's his crazy tail with all the tendrils. But have a lot of fun with them. I painted him, well, with spots at least, while we were doing the club members live stream. That is kind of like an art hangout. We were talking with Sasha Ferris, who's an amazingly talented artist herself, and she has a massive passion for armor in horses and other things, and it was a very cool conversation. So if you're a member, definitely check those out. They're definitely worth it. We always have really cool conversations about hobby stuff, about different experiences, different techniques. We talked about gilding a little bit last time, and kind of the differences about that, all sorts of stuff. It's just fun. But anyway, I was working on this guy, so that was my project. And he doesn't have anything on his belly yet, but you can kind of see. And his little strip of hair. It's got a hairy chest. So yeah, that's Hairmageddon. And there's a little bit more work done to her hair. And she does have a name, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Ha 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 ha. So I'll get her rounded out and in a mold hopefully soon. There are deadlines fast approaching. So yeah, there's that. I will save the peak kind of for the end, just before I go into the hyperfixation-y random stuff. But I'll maybe update you guys on stickers, and then I will do the fin stuff. And a little caveat before that, Briar had an update on their BriarFest pricing. So if you bought a ticket and you're not a VIP, the pricing on the models is going up by about $5 a horse. they're saying it's related to the tariffs and stuff because I think they're at 140% or something. And some of that stock, whether that changes in the future, they would have had to order and ship already. So they're probably already paying a lot of that stuff. His hair looks like so much fun. Sasha's a sweetheart too. She is. She's so wonderful and so passionate. I love it. It's very energizing. I always come away from our chats with like extra energy for the week, which is kind of cool. Oh, thank you, Susan. I greatly appreciate that and welcome. And he says, so pretty. Yay. The pony is so lovely. Your hair would be a blast to paint. I hope so. I love doing the like cascading stuff. And there's a little bit of, she's based on a memorial piece from my grandmother, or she is a memorial piece from my grandmother that passed. She was kind of my only family. Super supportive of all my art the whole time that I'd been alive, and just had this cool spirit about her. So I'm trying to capture that. And at the same time, there's a little bit of other stuff that works its way into the mix. There was a Connemara pony that I rode that was called Sam, Samwise, in Ireland. And there's a cool picture I have of just his mane blowing. It's actually a trip I went on with Annie. His mane blowing in the like sea salt air, and it looks like waves, and that has always wanted out. And since I haven't done a Connemara yet, we have a fell because they have lovely long locks crossed with a Shetland in the pony that is being done for my grandmother. And I can't help hair. I'm going to try and do something maybe a little bit more reserved, going, well, maybe not. We'll see. You guys like the hair too, so it works out. So Breyer also, in addition to raising their prices just a little bit, so it's not much, $5 a horse. I think between 5 and 10, depending on what it was. And they also announced that I think it's the 5th of June that is, or the 4th of June, that's the deadline for getting tickets, all access tickets, that you actually can pick your potential special runs. So if you wanted to do that, make sure you do that soon. I'm not seeing where they put that. It's not on their Briarfest blog. It will be on their Facebook page. Give me 1 second. I will look it up. All right. It says here, eligible June 4th at 12:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure you buy your tickets by then, or you'll get a wild card, which will be whatever random SR they assign to you. So otherwise, you don't get a preference. So if you wanted one, make sure you check that out and grab your tickets before the 4th, which includes me because I haven't bought my tickets yet. I'm going to do online, and I'm having somebody pick up my ponies because I need them in full for reasons that you guys know. They just make me spend all my money. I don't know. Katie says, super excited for my tater tots and biter colors picked out. Yay! They should. I think the next batch of biters, which includes yours, Katie, will be going out this week, or the bitty biters, and then the taters I have almost ready to go. So very exciting. The tater tots will be fun. Hi, Kinsey. How are you? Welcome. Let me see. I brain distracted. Okay, so I'm going to do quick sticker thingy, and then we can go from there. So last month's sticker was a Sea Dragon unicorn, this lovely one. And in the envelopes, which are brightly colored so you do not miss them in your mail, I included a little bit of a newsletter to say what's going on in the studio, what's going on with the clubs. So I'm going to keep this going as a bit of a trend. And then if you are in the Medallion Club, you will also get a newsletter in your boxes. And then I'm going to start sending them out digitally so that everybody in the club has access, even if you are in the Mighty Minis, which is the supporter tier for like online access and supporting artists, which is always appreciated. And then a fun little surprise that I did, I included a Chrysalis Studios sticker in with everybody's first package. And also one of the character stickers. So each tier has their representative little character that I did. So your Mighty Minis are these guys. Oops. The camera's like, nope. And your Awesome Arabians are these guys. And then that is your Brilliant Brumbies and your Majestic Mustangs. So depending on which club you're in, you also got your character sticker, which was totally free and awesome. And that'll keep going for new members that join. You'll get an extra bonus in your first package. And it should be fun. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And speaking of stickers, the last one had a fun effect, which was a matte mirror metallic that shimmered so that it looked like she was coming out of the deep. And I have none of those on my desk, so that's okay. Next time. Not all of them will have special effects, but I usually can't help myself, so probably most of them. If you didn't want to see it, look away. Sorry, I get excited. This is the one for May. So you can see there's a gold tint on most of the armor, and then things like the feathering on the breastplate there are pure holographic. And the eye is also holographic, as well as the bridle and the bit and all the jewels. So it's kind of fun. I quite enjoy it. So yeah, those are the May stickers. You can still join up until the end of the month. Anybody that joins up until the 31st, I guess, which would be next Saturday. And then I will be starting to ship everything on the 1st. Well, it'll probably be the 2nd because that's when the post office opens back up. But you might get your tracking on the 1st. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of a fun effect to see it glimmering. And club members can order additional stickers as long as I still have some extras. So I will be sending out those links again for you if you wanted more than one. And if you're in a different tier, so your Mighty Minis, you also have access to buying the extras as well. Yeah, it's kind of fun. And they're big. They're not like full Raven face size because my envelopes are only so big. But they are like half Raven face size. You can fit 2 of them in my face, which is always fun. That sticker's stunning. Thank you, Deanne. I like the special effects, if you can't tell. And I'm going to try and do some really fun and interesting things because they've been adding more sticker stock that has different cool stuff that you can do with them. And I might have a trick or two up my sleeve. So yeah. The next one will most likely be realistic. They're not all going to be fantasy. I know not everybody loves fantasy, and I'm probably going to put up a poll for the next sticker because then members can vote and be like, I want these ones. Because everybody has a favorite breed type, right? So works out. Oh, Kinsey has a horse! Congratulations! Her first pony. I'm so excited. You'll have to send pictures. Send us pictures. I want to see. That is very cool. Congratulations. Turbo was technically my first horse. I had a pony that I played with when I was younger that was at my great-grandparents' ranch, but Peanuts wasn't exactly mine. I thought he was mine, but he was not. He was like the ranch pony that all the kids rode. So Turbo's mine. It's only been a couple years. I've had him for, I think, 7 now. So that's very cool. Maybe 8. Might be longer. Yeah, he's 21. So, woo, goodness gracious, time flies. Amy likes the sticker. Yay. Brenda likes the sticker. Yay. I like the sticker. Yay. So it's always good. And Carol, yay. It's always good when people get excited about stuff because I get excited about the stuff. And yeah, I said I was going to do stickers, which we did. And then I said I was going to do polling stuff. So I have been putting to a vote because I'm so stumped. I want to do all the colors on this guy, and I'm just absolutely, I didn't even know what to do. So I figured I would put the vote out and then let everybody else pick. And I went and picked the top references that I liked, not 100% realizing that some of the colors that I put on there, one in particular, is going to be really hard to do. So this is the poll on the Main Chrysalis Studios Facebook page. I did put it up on Instagram and then shared it to a couple of groups, the Ravers group and Modelholics. And So I've done Dapple Gray before, I've done Roan before, Silver Bay I've done before, but not Smoky Black Pearl. And the leader coming out of the gate was Smoky Black Pearl, and I have no idea how to do this color, but I might have to do it. So that's okay. How it's working out for votes right now, it breaks out to about 189 votes for Smoky Black Pearl, so it's just barely in the lead. 181 votes, and this is just on the one. I'm going to conglomerate them all between the 4 different areas where I am taking votes, but this is kind of the biggest number is on the main Facebook page. 181 for Silver Bay, and then 112 for the Roan, 89 for the gray. So not many people want the gray. It is a very nice gray though. So it's kind of funny to see that the top 2 are like double the next ones, and then they're both kind of sort of tied, which is crazy considering how many votes there are. And then 1 vote is laughing for no reason. So hey, they didn't want to vote for the colors that I picked. That's fine. You can laugh if you want. Probably laughing at my fate as I decide to just put this up to public choice, but that's okay. Other people were suggesting things in the comments, different colors. People wanted black. Other people wanted different colors of silver. Other people wanted Roans that I didn't pick. Anything dappled. There's all sorts of different colors on there. Yeah, so that is the one Facebook one. And then we switch it over to, on Modelholics, we are at, most people on here want the Smoky Black as well. There's only a few votes for the Bay, Silver Bay, then gray is 16 and 18 for the Roans. So Smoky Black Pearl's pulling ahead pretty solidly through most of these, with a couple of people voting for different things. And then on the Ravers page, we are Silver Bay on the Ravers page is in the lead with 5. Very close on its heels is the Smoky Black Pearl with 4, and then 2 for the Dapple Gray, 1 for the Roan. And most of the people that are on the Ravers page probably voted on the main page, so that's probably why we're seeing a difference there. And then Instagram. Let me find that. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Sarah. How's it going? Katie's like, Bayroon. Hi, Amy Silver Bay. We're going to get a fight. People are going to be mad if I pick the wrong color. Oh my goodness. What do I do? Let's see. So then Instagram is here. People had to vote in the comments because there's no react buttons on Instagram. We have Silver Bay, Smoky Pearl, Silver Bay. It's again Silver Bay, Smoky Pearl. Well, Smoky Black Pearl, I guess I have to be specific. There were people that were mad that there weren't solid colors on there, but I could have put 5,000 options, but I tried to narrow it down because I had to somehow. So we'll see. I might be doing a Smoky Black Pearl or a Silver Bay. I really like the hair on the Silver Bay though. It is very pretty. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. That's pretty intense. Leaving it all up to the fates and you guys, whatever you want. But I think he would be pretty in any of the colors. It might be, there's part of my brain that's like, ooh, challenge in a color I've never done before. So we will see how that goes. I'm going to let things peter out a little bit. I've got a couple of things that I got to do in the next couple of days. So I'll let more votes come in and then we'll see what we end up with. Kinsey's like, you should do a red Roan. Slightly obsessed with that color now because it's the color of my horse. We need pictures. Private message me pictures. Let me see. Yeah. On Instagram, well, I guess on social media this week, I posted the references and mirroring those. I also posted Casanova in a little bit of a sappy story about he was kind of the first horse that I did that did super well in a show ring in a way that I didn't expect and kind of gave me hope as a beginner artist because we all know that the hobby is super crazy competitive and super realistic. So it can be very hard to fit within those lines and show well and do well. There's a lot of really big name pieces in my showing area. Lots of Boydstons, lots of Carol Williams. We have Tammy Pomerchuk. There's all sorts of really well done work that pops up at shows and basically sweeps the tables, and it can be very hard for a new artist to break into that. So I try and be cognizant of things like that, and we don't get a lot of novice shows that pop up here and there. It's kind of hit or miss now, which makes it very hard as someone that's coming in new to compete with stuff on that level. Even if you are not an artist and you're just buying work, and you buy the stuff you love, the stuff you can afford, and your stuff gets its butt kicked in the rings, that can be very discouraging, especially if you're new to the hobby. Sometimes it's exciting to go to shows and see awesome stuff, and then you're like, I can't buy a $10,000 horse, so I don't know how I'm supposed to win. It can be very, very hard sometimes. So any little bit of hope that you can get, going to a different show, switching up your competitive areas, photo showing. I talked about Pony Bites and OmHips, the online model horse showing society, shower society. Things like that can be really helpful. This was my work going to Northwest Congress, and it's got Nan ribbons to its name as well. I won second place, but it was against some really crazy horses, and it was a really big show. Liz Shaw's little tiny Nahar ended up in that same class. So there was some really hardcore pieces that were worth a lot of money in that class. And the photos that I took are absolutely terrible. He is really pretty in person. And I did the customization to have both ears forward and the calling mouth. So he stood out on the table, which was also helpful. Yeah, so if you want to read a little bit of a sappy story, that is me crying with Chris Jolly behind me because I was surrounded by a whole bunch of people that had amazing work, heroes I'd never even thought I would meet. Mel Miller was there. I got to see her work in person, and that was dazzling to be surrounded by artists that I knew the names of. It's just very cool. Amy, I'm going to steal that Nahar. I don't know where he is anymore. He used to be owned by Sharon Mossy, and she sold him ages ago. Had I known she was selling him, I probably would have bought him back. But he is somewhere out there in space, and I did very much so love him. So, yeah. Who knows where he is? Hopefully showing, hopefully being enjoyed. But it's cool to see stuff like that pop up, and it's a very special thing for artists to see their work do well. Sometimes you get really good artists that end up quitting the hobby because they don't get that moment, right? So yeah, the hobby can be hard at times, but it can also be awesome. And share around, because your stuff will do better under different judges at different shows. So don't just go to one show, be discouraged, and then quit. I hope people don't do that. Let's see. Marty says, whatever color you paint, the fin will be beautiful. Thank you. Smoky black is second choice, so I won't be mad. Thanks, Amy. It's so hard. There's so many colors. Yeah, so maybe he'll pop up at some point for sale. Who knows? The Nahar, I mean. It's kind of cool to see older work, but you don't see a lot of my work getting rehomed. So that's the thing. Speaking of, the fin will be a sales piece when he's done at some point. I just got to get him prepped, and then I can start doing the things, which is cool. And then we'll see. We'll see what ends up winning. I might be doing crazy colors. On that note, I have covered the thingy. All right, so I will do the Medallion Club / what I'm up to peaky thing, and then I will, let's see, go from there, I guess. Then we'll do our, what do you call it? Then we will do, my brain just out of my head. Need more coffee! Emergency! Then I'll do the other generic-y what I've been up to, stuff that's maybe not model horse related directly. All right, so I showed this video. Bum, ba, bum. The other day. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It ran away. What the heck? I hate Facebook sometimes. So this one. I am up to something. So this is the process of me making the mold for the new medallion, club medallion. If you don't want it to be spoiled, I will give you a warning before I show it and talk about it, so you can run away for a minute or two. This is me degassing the silicone, which is always satisfying because it pops up to about twice the volume that it was originally and then collapses down, and it reminds me of like Flubber or like The Thing. There's a little baby peak at the bottom of the screen there, and then that's me filling the molds, pulling off the Lego. I use Lego for the mold casing. It just usually makes it easier. They are connected because I stuck them too close together when I was sticking them on the tile that I make the molds out of. Silicone's so satisfying to cut because it's like, it likes to cut when it's under pressure. So if you stretch it, then it cuts better. I love it. So yeah, that was me preparing the thing. And now I will show you part of the thing. So if you have, spoiler alert, coming in like a minute. If you've been to the Crystal Studios website, there's a Peaks page. That Peaks page, I will show you here. You go here, you go clubs, you go down to Peaks, and the Peaks will show what the sticker is. I need to update the actual sticker picture, and my text went underneath the photo. With the effect, I'll probably do a little video or something and you can see that. This was the quick reveal that I did before it was molded. So you kind of knew the backstory, a little bit of what was going on there. And then this, oh, I should make that bigger so you can actually see what I'm doing, is part of the thing. It has a very pretty feminine face. It is easy to spoil. I kind of gave you some allusions as to what it is. It is based on The Last Unicorn because I had to, with some updates in my style thrown in there. It's not a direct replica of what you see in the movie, but I think you guys are going to be very happy. The feel of this one is just, it's nostalgia and happy and unicorny and makes me happy inside. But all the details worked out really lovely. There's a really cool feel. I did some fun things with the hair, and I think you guys are gonna love it. It is right beside me. It is about 3/4 of a raven face in size, so it is a larger medallion. And I was gonna do a full body. It is not a full body. It is almost a full body because I made her so big that I couldn't fit her in the box. So we needed to make adjustments to the structure of the piece to make it fit in boxes. So yeah, that's the thing. I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to start posting pictures this week. Yeah, what are we looking at? Next Sunday will be the full reveal because it is the first. Maybe I'll reveal it a little bit sooner, and then people who want to hop in can hop in. Maybe we'll do like a Thursday or Friday reveal, and then I'll do live reveal on Sunday, and you can see it in the flesh, the 3D-ness. It has a really cool 3D effect that I added. Most of the medallions that I have they don't have as many sticky outy bits. This one has 2 sticky outy bits, which caused some challenges with molding that I will be including in my little tutorial thing for the club members to show that even if you're experienced, sometimes mold things pop up, but it's a really good thing to show people how to get around those issues when your thing is stuck in the mold because it goes in separate directions and you can't pull it out because you need to pull it out this way and this way at the same time. It doesn't work. Oh no, Instagram won't let me private message you. Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. Where are... I do have an auto reply on Instagram just because I don't get messages. It does not let me see it. Why does it not let me see it? Let me just sort out this. I'll send you one, and then maybe it'll let you send me one, and then I will show your pony on the screen. Haha. You'll have to say the name too. Patchwork Flynn, all the coat colors. That'd be fun to do like a Franken pony in all the colors and be like, or one side and the other side. So it'd be like, this will be the silver or smoky black pearl, and then that'll be the silver bay. And then depending, you could show it on either side at the shoulder. That'd be kind of cool. The Thing, hyperfixation of the week. Andrea, hi, how's it going? Carol's excited. Katie knew it was a draft. You caught me. Darn it. Get bigger boxes. That is slightly more challenging than you would think because it messes up the whole downstream thing. And there's also limitations to what I can feasibly put in boxes. Maybe I'll have to. The medallion, like the anniversary medallions, tend to need bigger boxes. Hi, Karen. Frankenflynn. I do like that name. Darn it. I don't know that it's letting Kinsey send me things. Darn it. You can email me too. If you email me the picture, I'll try and catch it from there. And then if not, I'll show it next stream. You can send me that. We'll do it that way. All right. You guys might see a little change to my emails. MailChimp is charging me about $70 a month for my email service, which is not feasible. It's a lot of money. So I'm trying to find different services. I think I found one called Moosend, and I'm probably going to switch it over to that because MailChimp has also decided that they have zero customer service and they would rather just ignore me. So, not cool. So I'm going to probably switch things over. So if you've saved the MailChimp address, you might need to resave the new one under Moosend. It should be about the same, and I just need to set things up, and it is significantly cheaper than MailChimp. So yeah, if you see that change and you're like, why did the emails change? I'll also send that in the email, but just expect that coming up. Keep an eye out for stuff coming, and I might post to social media as well just to say I've sent an email out to all the newsletter subscribers and do it that way, and then you can check to see if you got it or if it went to spam and then save the email from there. I know that's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but the $70 a month is a unsustainable number for me. It's already really tight with studio stuff and the market and everything else, so we try and be mindful of that sort of thing because there's always like restream costs, everything costs, website costs, this costs, everything adds up $5 million a year. So crazy. It says sending now. Yay, pony. Hold on. You bought a Mustang? Hold on, I will show. What is Mustang's name? Tell me name. Tell me the name, Kinsey. Look at Kinsey's cute pony. Oh my goodness. He's so fluffy. So cute. You must tell us pony name. Little Fluffy. Looks like it's young too. Oop. He's so fluffy. Look at it. Look at its little fluffy bum. Little fluffy tail. Oh, he's so cute. Congratulations, Kinsey. That is adorable. Now we need a name. Do you have a name yet? Is that why you haven't said name? Maybe it's you're waiting to see him in person. Be like, you have a name now. And you're so cute. Look at that face. My goodness. I want to just kiss him on the nose. I know, right? I want to pet it too, Amy. My goodness. Hi, Laura Rocksmith. How's it going? Don't have a name yet. So if you have any suggestions, Taco. You don't call him Taco. Fluffy little red roan. We'll have to think on that because that's so cute. He's a sweetie. Congratulations. I totally would adopt a Mustang. Anyway, we'll go. He might need to be, yeah. We call him like, I don't know. Call him George because like yeah. You hug him and cuddle him, call him George. Aztec could be fun. He's very, very cool. Yeah, so that is the majority of the studio stuff, but I also wanted to cover something kind of fun. Oh no, did I kill it? I might have killed it. Hold on. I did. Give me 1 second and I'll find it again. My hyperfixation has been working on some of the garden stuff. We planted a cherry tree outside and I'm trying to build like a food forest. They call it foodscaping, which is when you plant plants in your garden that are pretty and they look ornamental, but they're also food. So that's kind of fun because my brain says I need useful food or useful plants. Some of them can be pretty, but I also need useful plants. We have currants showing up on the currant bushes that I planted a couple years ago. Those are the baby little currant berries, and they're delicious. I don't know what colors they are because I can't remember. I bought 3 currants, 2 blacks and a red, and 2 of the bushes have survived, but I don't remember which ones. So they might be 2 blacks. I might have a black and a red. We will find out. And then I had spinach that's self-seeded. So that's the old spinach plant, and it laid itself over on the dirt, and the spinach popped up from the seeds from the plant. So it volunteered itself, which is exciting. And then the bush, it is very small. It is about this big so far. And it is a dwarf Romeo cherry, which means that my printer just tried to suggest that it do things. I don't have pictures of it. Oh no. It is a dwarf Romeo cherry, which means it's a little bit tart. It'll stay smaller, about 5 feet tall, and but it is a tart sweet cherry, and it should survive in our -40-degree winters, which is nice. And then I did go and get some flowers. So there's some carnations and some petunias. I'm gonna probably plant a honeyberry bush or some gooseberries because we have some spots in the front that opened up. And then I have some perennial flowers that I'm going to sort out. Give me 1 second. There's just somebody at the door. I have to let my husband know. Let me see. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I have some zucchini planted on the side, and I've got, what else do I got? I got squash bushes. I've got a couple tomato plants. I've got cucumbers. So that's exciting. We will see what the garden does. And my peonies for the first time are actually starting to do a thing. So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna. There's a gentleman that my husband's waiting for that's at the front door. So. Oh, he's going around the side. Sorry, guys. Normally he would tell him to go around to the garage side. He's not doing that. Okay. Well, he's not answering either. Not Not my problem. Ta-da! Other than the garden stuff and getting that in, I put a little French tarragon plant beside the cherry tree, and then some flowers, and I'm going to put some clover down there, I think, and a lavender plant. So I'm trying to plant, they call it companion planting or a fruit tree guild, so the plants will grow together and help each other grow better. So yeah, that's kind of cool and exciting. We have, I think, 5 peonies that I've planted on the side, and I have a space for 1 extra one. So I'm going to find another one when I see what colors come up, because I have no idea. I didn't keep track of which colors I planted where. Thunderbirds flying overhead. It is Memorial Day, so we should have that soon. We have the Kananaskis, where the G7 meeting is going to be, is very, very close to where we live. Couple of hours, so it'll be interesting to see all of the crazy presence of different planes and things monitoring stuff in the area. We had a whole bunch of military vehicles that went up already, and they drive right by my house because I'm right off the highway, so it's pretty crazy. Lemon balm and peppermint do grow here, and I do love both. I have a apple mint plant, and then lemon balm doesn't survive over the winter, so I need to buy new stuff, but that'll grow really well around the base of the plant too, and it is delicious in tea. Marty, but we get so many little hares and bunnies and things. It's so frustrating because if we put out bird seed, they usually leave the plants mostly alone, but I have to put up some fencing around some stuff because they love cornflower, which is fine. I'd rather them eat the cornflower than other stuff, but they mowed it down to the ground last year, and they haven't touched it as much this year, so I'm hoping that they don't eat all of it, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Fluffernutter. Fluffernutter would be a very cute name for your pony, Kinsey. Laura Rocksmith suggested it. He is a Mustang. He does look like one. He's got the branding on him, or the tab. Niece named her new red roan pinto Boog. Like bug? Boog? That's kind of cool. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is if you are on Star Stable, they just introduced a mule. Oh, we have a big plane flying overhead too. If you can hear it in here, it's usually like a military plane. Why won't it work? Work. I want to show you the video because their ears flop. Look, it's so cute. Their ears flop around. This is totally new to Star Stable. So if you're on Star Stable, you definitely need them. They have appies. They make sounds. Inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising on just you watch. The Pinto version, which has badger face. The leopard apples version. You need them all. You need them all. I've been Star Stable in over a year, but and it's a pretty cool game. It's Appleberry. This is how legends are made. We're all required. A card too, Lionel. This is how legends are made. I might need to go in and at least buy them. I'm cranking up on the they're so cute. I can't get over how cute it is in their animation. I don't even know what to pick because I love them all too much. So that is one hyperfixation that I was like, oh, they're sucking me back in with their mules. I am playing on kind of casually because it's easier to play this casually than other things. It's called Horse Phenomenon or Horse Phenomena. It is something that one of you guys suggested in the chat, actually, and I hopped on there. It's like Horseland from back in the 2000s. I used to play it and join up at the library and do different things. I am currently raising Appaloosas, and I have some fantasy horses too. So I have ponies. You can show them, you can breed them, you can create different lines, different crossbreeds, create the graphics for them or buy the graphics for them and update the different pages. This one does not have a picture. It's kind of cool. I enjoy it. And then that's my stand-in regular graphic for when I don't have pictures. This one's a Appaloosa Hippocampus cross that I have to figure out what to pick for a photo for it. I have some things that I've been working on, and then I have a dog for each of my old cattle dogs that I used to have. So Havoc was one that we owned, and then Bandit was my other catalog. So it's kind of fun. And then underneath my fantasy account, you'll recognize this one. I have some hippocampuses, and I don't have pictures for the other ones, so they're kind of boring. And I have a unicorn, and I have 2 zebras, which is kind of fun because I want to make zebracorns. It's happening. So yeah, if you liked Horseland back in the day, it's kind of a fun thing to do. It is usually not too crazy to play with. They have rankings and stuff. You can play games. They usually do puzzles and stuff like that for different points. So if you're interested in games, that's kind of fun. If you want more visuals, Star Stable is a good option. There's also tons of other games out there. There was a this company, which I thought for whatever reason is the same the one that does Star Stable because they're using the same kind of fonts and graphics. It's called Foxy Ventures, and they have fantasy stuff. So you can breed all sorts of different fantasy things. And they have weather. It looks very much like Star Stable. So I don't know if it's an offshoot, but you can see they have lots of cool fantasy types. Very, very similar in how it is presented. But the little fantasy ones, they're so cute. I don't know. Look at their eyeballs glow. And I know a lot of people play Star Stable and then they do customs. They do different breeds. There's horse with a W, horse. They have now different stuff coming in. Apparently they have animal kingdoms with other animals you can raise, which is kind of cool. The fantasy stuff is just really neat. So that was kind of another little side adventure that I had. I also did get the buttons on my website working for things being sold out. So if you go to Bombas's page on the website, the coding is now there and it will show sold out. And you cannot click, but the buttons still exist. So yeah, that's exciting for me. I don't know. And then I added a quantity for how many are in editions, even if they're open editions. I'm going to try and fill that out. The pages will all look the same because they're all coded to be the same. So you can find the information in the same spots. You can see whether they're available or not. I'm probably going to get it to change the text up here. But I'm going to try and keep all of the stuff central so that you can always know where to expect things to pop up. And there will be a coming soon button that will come here. So your buttons will say coming soon when something's not ready to be released 100%, but there. So yeah, that is the thing. Ta-da! So other than coding and all this stuff, that's kind of what I've been up to. On that note, since we've been about an hour, which seems to be the general length of time that it takes me to stream for whatever reason, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. There's still 13 of you here, so it works out. I get excited about the meals too, Kinsey. Let me see. Deanne says I had to put up some bunny fencing too. They're trying to get into the seedlings. They're so bad. Bunnies. Nash was out there and he saw me digging because I had him out in the front and I was digging for the cherry tree and he's like, oh, we're digging. This is the best thing ever. So he goes over to the other bed and digs a hole in the other bed. And I'm like, there's onions in there. Don't do that. So we're going to have to work on the digging thing. That is totally a thing that he does. The walking floppy ears. I know. I love it too. The nameless Mustang is not even a year old and is 14 hands high. You might have a large thing on your hands, but it'll be fun. It'll be cool because you'll get, are you going to send him off for training or are you going to try and do some of it yourself? It's very cool. I want to do that one day, baby, and raise it. But yeah, time suck much. The games definitely can be. That's why I don't tend to go on Star Stable a lot with Things like, and I don't have a lot of time to spare because I'm doing all these cool things and my brain is so filled with ponies that need to come out. Horse phenomena is not too bad because you can go in there and just kind of manage it. I just have things there and they go on shows. And if you get to set, if you're an upgraded account, your specialty. So hippocampus on my fantasy account and then Appaloosa on my non-fantasy account. And I can just enter all shows and it takes me 30 seconds, which is kind of nice. And it's kind of cool to see their points go up and you see rankings change and stuff. Second Fluffernutter, I quite like it. His herd name is Stinking Water? What? That's a weird name. Coming soon to own on DVD and video. Which, what? Fluffernutter? Or Stinking Water? Are the medallion stories on the website? I wanted to look back on the medallion for Bombus. No, so the new website doesn't have individual pages for the medallions yet. And I wasn't saving the stories from the different medallions as I was posting them on the Peaks page. They showed up on the Peaks page and then they disappeared. So for the Bombus medallion, because of the evolution story, I think I have that saved somewhere on the drive. So I'll try and scrounge that up. But yeah, he evolved from Bumblebutt and he was being picked on by the other ponies. And he went for a walk in the woods with Gaia, well, by himself, and Gaia found him. And he ended up eating a funky mushroom because he was starving. He got lost in the woods and he ended up evolving. And then Gaia found him and was like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "I'm Bumblebutt." And she's like, "No, you're not. You're like giant." And yeah, it's kind of cute. Their meals are correct, unlike some other meals. Yeah, meals are hard. It's its own thing. Pam, have a fun day. Just got here. We'll watch you. Oh, hi, Pam. Welcome. I showed off some cool stuff, so hopefully you can go back, scrub through, and see what you like. It's the best to start your fall. Yeah, I agree, because then you know what they've had. There's no trauma and crazy, because it's hard to find a good trainer that doesn't do sketchy stuff. Stinking water horse management. Sticking water horse management area. There you go. I was like, what? I've never heard of that one before. So I thought that was his name because sometimes they give the foals names. He'll be living at my barn and my trainer has trained a lot of Mustangs. Gonna help me with them. That's so cool. I'm so excited for you, Kinsey. Can't wait to see the journey. You should put put them on your Instagram page, but maybe do like a page just for Fluffernutter. Be very cool. Or like Red Velvet or there's so many cool names for a red roan. Moral of the story, if you eat strange mushrooms, you will grow to be amazing. Maybe. That's probably a bad moral of the story, because most mushrooms aren't good for you, but some of them are magic. I totally did that. Anyway, Alice in Wonderland type story, like the by eat me and drink me thing. Let me see. All right. I guess on that note, before we get into tangents about psychedelic things that will get me kicked off Facebook, YouTube for sure. I will let you guys go. Have a great day. If you are on Horse Phenomena, I'm more than happy to have you as a riding buddy. And if you're on Star Stable, I'm not on very often, but you can try and add me. I believe my username is Ray Leia, RAELEYIA. And I think I'm on one of the North American servers, but I can't remember which one. So, ta-da! All right, I will see you guys next week. I will start previewing photos coming up right away. And maybe Monday I'll start previewing things and then full reveal for the medallion on Thursday or Friday. And then also the auctions for the Noki and the Aussie will go up starting tomorrow. So, yay! Have a great long weekend for all of you Americans and celebrating your Memorial Day. I will see you guys next week. And it will be the first, and exciting packages will be coming. All right. Love you guys. See you later. Bye. Wait, don't feed trolls. We need to do that too, because diets and such, right? If you feed the trolls, they get meaner and bigger, and just ignore them, because attention is food too. So, all right. Love you guys.